Milling Through History presents Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo is a celebration of Mexican culture that is found in the United States. However, many people do not necessarily understand why it is being celebrated. The day itself is meant to commemorate the Battle of Puebla. However, many Americans do not realize that the United States had zero involvement in this battle whatsoever. Even more importantly, the United States also had zero involvement in the war in which this particular battle was fought. And so let's understand this day a little better. It begins in Mexico, as that nation was involved in a civil war called the Reform War between the years of 1858 and 1861. The liberals wanted a separation of church and state with freedom of religion, while conservatives wanted a tighter bond between the state and the Catholic Church. On July 17, 1861, Benito Juarez issued a moratorium on all foreign debt payments for the span of 2 years. In response to this, Great Britain, France, and Spain sent naval forces to Mexico. And while Britain and Spain were able to negotiate with Mexico on what to do about foreign payments, France decided to do something different. For at this time, France was ruled by Napoleon III, and he saw this as an opportunity to reestablish French presence in North America with a Latin America that was actually controlled by his nation. And so, it would be on May the 5th, 1862, that French forces attempted to gain the support of Mexican people in the town of Puebla. But in attacking the local garrison, they met some rather stiff resistance. By attacking late in the day, the Mexicans were able to force the French to use up all of their artillery ammunition and then drive them back into retreat towards Veracruz. The battle was rather significant, as it was the first time that the French army had been defeated in 50 years. In addition to this, the French army was extremely well equipped against a force that, well, by all rights, should have been overrun. Now, following this defeat, the French would regroup their forces and would eventually march on Mexico City, overthrowing Juarez and installing Emperor Maximilian I as the ruler of Mexico. Now, for Mexicans, the celebration of Cinco de Mayo first began on May the 9th, 1862, when Benito Juarez declared that the anniversary of the battle would be a national holiday. And today, the battle itself isn't quite seen as a national Mexican holiday, but public schools are, interestingly enough, closed nationwide. In addition to this, it is an official holiday in the state of Puebla and a full holiday in the state of Veracruz. Now, people in Puebla do reenactments of the battle, along with having parades and special meals to commemorate the battle itself. And Mexico City will have military commemorations for the event. However, their neighbors to the north, the United States, has taken the celebration to a bit of a different extreme. In 1863, Mexican miners in California celebrated when learning about the news of the victory. And for the most part, the event itself became rather quiet in the United States until post-World War II, when the Chicano movement began. And Cinco de Mayo became a beacon of Mexican pride, as Mexicans were attempting to end discrimination and racism towards them in the Southwest United States. And while many cities and large urban environments began to recognize Cinco de Mayo and celebrate Mexican culture, it'd be in the 1980s that beer companies decided to take advantage of all the celebratory nature of the day in order to sell their product, effectively taking away both historical and ethnic integrity from Cinco de Mayo. As of 2013, more beer has been purchased for Cinco de Mayo over that of both the Super Bowl and St. Patrick's Day, effectively making many people in America not consider the true importance of the day to the Mexican culture, but rather as an opportunity to have a party. Now be sure to click like, share, and subscribe for future episodes of Milling Through History, and be sure to leave comments below for future episode ideas. And make sure to take a look at our suggested reading page.